Darn it, I clicked on the wrong one. So close, so close. Oh well. Guys, welcome to Around the Scene. This is episode 11. We are so happy to have you here. We are here every Wednesday to give you a fix on all things Rocket League. I'm one of your hosts, PWR Ryan, and joining me today we have the lovely Daddy Perino and the Master TO himself, Eldino.
What's going on, Ryan? How you doing?
It's going well. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, thank you. Looking forward to some more exciting stuff we have on the slate today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of exciting things. So much roster news.
Yeah, and we have to go into our RLCS predictions as well, so that'll be a fun one.
Oh yeah, we have it's crazy how much stuff has happened today. And like I couldn't even keep up with it all just because I'm so busy with work and everything. So catching up on it now. But guys, if you didn't know, this is Around the Scene. This is episode 11. We are... Please, I can't say words today for some reason. Be sure to give us a follow or a sub here on Twitch. We would love to have you. Eldino finally unmuted himself, so he's with us.
I did.
But be sure to give us a follow or sub here on Twitch, or consider giving us a buck over on patreon.com/playingwithrockets. We encourage you guys to go discuss over there in chat, but we're going to largely be ignoring you guys because we want to make a polished podcast for those who are going to be watching later on YouTube. I would say a really cool YouTube URL, but we don't have that currently because we don't have enough subscribers. So consider going subscribing to us over there. Just go search Playing with Rockets and you'll find us. Easy peasy.
Don't forget to hit the bell and smash the like button too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the next vid. But today, guys, we have a special episode. We're going to go over some of the roster news that happened because it's so big that we can't ignore it. And then after that, we're going to do a sort of round-robin predictions table on what we think is going to happen for this weekend's championship event there in New Jersey. Perino, you're going, right?
I will be there, yes. I'm there for days 1 and 3.
So if you're there, go say hi. Go say hi to this man.
If anybody actually recognizes me in person, it will stroke my ego immensely. So please do it. I beg.
It's like, for the love of God, please. But we're not going to go over any normal news today, so we're going to go straight into the roster shuffle. So first, we're going to talk about how Mystic is no longer on the bricks. What do you guys kind of make of this? I was not expecting him to leave or be kicked off. I'm not exactly sure what happened. All we have to go off of is, are you still on the bricks? And him responding negative.
I'll let Dino go first on this one. I want to give him the right away here.
I'm not really that surprised. I think he's probably the worst player on the team.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He had a lot of consistency issues, and he's had them for a while now. As far back as I can remember, as long as he's been on this team, the old Flipside roster, but...
Okay. I mean, it's weird because I really don't know, like... That's not one of the teams, like, I pay attention to them a little bit, but because they haven't, like, put up crazy results, they're not one that I've really paid much attention to or watched many of their games. I don't know. Yeah, I guess if I was to kick someone, it would have to be him or Speed, though.
Yeah, well, again, this is a tough one because I think I agree with Dino that Mystic has been their most inconsistent player, and the problem is that when you have to rely on someone, because like Mystic, I wouldn't really say is necessarily like a flashy player or like a very like highly skilled mechanical player.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, if your role is not to go absolutely nuts mechanically, and you're more, we talk about like that third role, the defensive, kind of piecing the team together sort of role, and you can't do it all the time, then I can see why they went this way, especially given their results this season. I mean, they just avoided the drop, so
yeah, and
there's that.
Like, barely.
By the skin of their sorry teeth, they just avoided the drop. Yeah. So
yeah, just barely pulled that one off. It's crazy to me to see these guys down in this position just because, and I've mentioned it before, but just the fact that like they were the WSOE winners. Like, they were the champions of that, and there were so many teams for that, and the fact that they came out on top was, like, crazy. And to see them go from top of the world there to barely staying in is just it's kind of crazy. But, like, you see that across EU in general this season.
Well, it's all in that patented EU depth, right? You have all these. Well, but there is an element of truth to it. You have so many good players and good teams that if someone isn't
EU is a lot more hotly contested. It's harder. Like, you can look at NA and pretty easily say, like, oh, win for these teams. And EU, like, partway through the season, I was just like, I could flip a coin, and that's probably more accurate than I am.
Yeah, and when you have that level of inconsistency across teams, these roster moves are much, more bound to happen. Not only because, again, the results are so contested, but also because there are capable players that can and will step in. So they'll have options.
I'm sure. Do you guys have anything else you want to add to this one? It's kind of hard because, like, we don't know if he was the one kicked or if he chose to leave. Like, we just don't know much about what is going on with this. So
yeah, there's a lot of unknowns with it.
Yeah, so it's a little harder to kind of. I don't want to speculate necessarily on, like, what I think happened or anything, but yep, Mystic is no longer on the bricks for the GU at home. Going on to the next bit of news, also tying into that as well. Bricks are trying out a lot at DreamHack Valencia. Do you think that he's the right fit for that team?
I'm not too sure. I mean, we haven't seen them play yet. But I could definitely see it working out, or just not working at all, and they're gonna get eliminated.
It's gonna like work pretty well. They're gonna make it far in the bracket, or they're probably gonna eliminate day one.
I don't see any middle ground with a lot.
Yeah. You got any thoughts on that, Perino?
Yeah, I was just about to say that I think it'll be interesting to see how they adjust style-wise. If I actually would tend to be on the side that they're not really going to do anything at all at DreamHack, just because I don't think that's someone who's going to fit in their lineup that well. I just don't see the play style clicking with that roster, with that particular player. I don't see it personally.
Okay. What is there any like particular reason why you think that he won't fit, or
just because I don't know who I think it puts Cux in a difficult spot, because we've seen with Cuxer in the past where he's had issues sometimes on defensive rotations. Mystic, I think, for what he was a great player to help iron out Cuxer's defensive inefficiencies. I thought
think they complement each other nicely.
I don't think a lot can cover in that same role as Mystic. I don't see that.
Yeah, he is a little bit harder on the offense than he is defense. So
just hope you score more, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, hope that your offense is so harsh that the opponent can't even do anything. But I mean, who knows? That could be what they're going for. That's what G2 was going for when they brought on Chicago. So, I mean, it's an idea. I don't know that I can say it's valid. We didn't see G2 become the powerhouse a lot of us were hoping they would become with Chicago. So, that's to be seen on if that's really a truly viable method just yet. But y'all have anything else you want to add on this one? It's just more of basically what we just talked about.
Yeah, pretty much.
This next one, though, is the biggest piece of news that we got for y'all here today. Dignitas and Turbopolsa are parting ways, and it was a mutual parting, according to their tweet. And let me actually... I thought I had it pulled up. Apparently I didn't, because I'm an ill-prepared host here. But
don't say that. Don't be so hard on yourself.
I know. I just hate myself. But, quote, following the conclusion of RLCS Season 7, the Dignitas Rocket League team will be mutually parting ways with Pierre Turbopolsa Silver. The decision comes as one of the greatest legacies in Rocket League history has started to fade, something not uncommon in esports for teams that have played together for years. Dignitas is in search of a new star so we can start writing our new history. Turbopolsa, who can make a strong case for being the best player in Rocket League history, is in search of a new adventure, end quote. Turbopolsa, definitely one of the biggest names in the game. I don't think that there's many people who can come to the reach that he probably has, just in terms of name recognition. I think a couple like maybe Squishy and stuff or K-Dot could, but Turbo Pulse is definitely one of those big names. I'm not too surprised about this. I guess I was more surprised to see that he was the one going. I thought it would have been Panda or Yukio going over him, to be honest.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say almost the exact same thing. Was that if I were going to kick someone on that team, I think it would have been Panda. Hold on. The first thing I have to do, I apologize. I gotta crack open this beer. It's been staring at me in the face for like 10
He
minutes.
missed his opportunity at the start.
I know. All right. Well, hold on. Well, now we're getting to the big piece of news. So, we got to take a drink for this one to handle this story. Okay.
Oh
so,
my God.
with that in mind, yeah, this is. I mean, I don't know if I would say I expected this. They obviously had a very rough season. They didn't qualify for LAN, which was obviously their intention. He is the 3-time, as they say, but yeah, I don't. It's just shocking. And again, the problem is that we got so much of this news today that it's hard to even make that much of an analytical response to it, because it's just like, oh my God, it's shock, really, is what it is.
I mean, the news came not very long ago. I mean, it came about just right at about noon. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. Eldino, you probably have thoughts on this one.
I'm not surprised at all. I was talking, I don't remember who it was with, talking with somebody the other day about Dignitas, and I said that I'd be surprised if Turbo stays, and if he stays, then there's no way Violent Panda does. So I was expecting one of them to get dropped. I'm kind of torn on it still, because I think it's better for Turbo than it is for Dig.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anybody you can take that's free right now, outside of maybe Mystic, but I don't think that would really work that well.
Yeah, I mean, if like him coming from the bricks, and after just the season they had, I really don't think I'd be looking to someone like him personally. I'm trying to think of who I would even consider for that, though.
You'd have to take somebody from a different team or from RLRS, but that's risky.
Yeah, no, it's extremely risky, but it just becomes that question of just like who. I'm trying to think of like who would even probably be considering leaving their team. I don't think TSM are. I mean, TSM probably might be looking to have a breakup there, but I'm not sure if they're considering that just yet. But really, any of the top 4 teams who qualified for LAN from EU, I mean, I can't imagine they'd be considering changing anybody.
Triple Trouble is the only one I could see, and even then, I doubt that would
Triple
happen.
Trouble is one I can't see, though, just because they did so well in league play. Like, they got second in league play. Like, that's huge for them coming in as an RLRS team. Like, they did great. And so, it's just weird.
The one advantage, though, of that is, of course, you'd be signing into an org. So if you're currently orgless, and, from my understanding, I'm sure Dignitas pays well. Like,
I mean, yeah, I would imagine. They have, like, their own facilities and stuff. That's why K-Dop started getting so buff.
Right. And they obviously have, I think a really solid understanding of how to put a team together. But I just don't... I don't know who it would be. Again, it's so
early on.
It's early on, and we haven't even had LAN yet. Like, we could consider someone from, one of these LAN teams. But what if one of them actually goes out and wins the RLCS? Let's say, like, maybe you're thinking of someone from PSG, but then PSG goes and wins World. Okay, well, now they're not going to switch. So, like, it's just so weird to think like that far ahead in some ways.
No, it's tough too, and I question. I mean, I think it's one of those things that we're just not gonna be able to. We can't know who it could possibly be until we get further into the story. Once those roster changes start getting into full swing, I think that we'll have a pretty clear understanding of who it's gonna be. But Do you guys have any speculation on what will kick out before we move on to the next deal?
Turbo goes to South America and dominates the South American scene.
I was actually just about to say NA, so
close. Around the scene, known for our bold predictions. Get ready for our LAN predictions in a little bit here. Moving on to the next bit, though, Ocelon is no longer playing for Method. This one, I don't know what I can say on it. I didn't watch the EU RLRS as much as I should have, so I can't say that I'm totally sure on what I think of it. I mean, Method, obviously, they held their spot in RLRS, but they didn't make it to RLCS, so I can understand why you're looking for a change there.
I was a big fan of this team going into the season, and I hate that they didn't get that 2 spot. Because I think they probably would have stuck together, but I mean, somebody was obviously going to go, because I mean, I think they also had pretty much the same result last season too.
Yeah. No, they've they're like stuck in RLRS.
Yeah.
Like they just can't get out.
Yeah, they came 3rd the season beforehand.
Yeah. And they got 4th or 3rd again.
4th?
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, I mean, you expect changes at that point.
Yeah, such a weird spot for teams that, you know, are kind of stuck in that RLRS cycle. You know, if you can't promote, but then you're also not getting, you know, dropped out of it, it makes it difficult to justify staying together. So I can certainly respect that they're looking for other options, but we've seen it this season. It's just cutthroat out there right now. People are just making moves left, right, and center.
I can't even keep up. They're just cutting people left and right, and it's just throwing me off. I was expecting us to have, like, you know, a week until after RLCS championship for this to, like, start happening. No, they were like, let's start 2 weeks before it happens and let the slaughter begin. Like, my goodness, it's gonna get crazy, I think.
Which like, it's not nuts already.
I mean, it's nuts already, but like I feel like this is just a sampler of how crazy it might get. Or if like this is the craziest it gets, then this is one of the most tame roster shuffles I'll have ever seen. You know?
Yeah, we haven't seen any of the big names, but again, that's because they're all going to LAN. So
Yeah.
you know, once LAN happens,
Once the dust has settled and a winner's crowned, we'll have the answers on who's probably going to look to change. But y'all got anything else you want to add to that one?
Nope.
Cool. Moving on. Swank and Harps are looking for 3rd. Mike has left Longshot. This is a bubble team here in North America. Eldino, you know a bit more about this team than I do.
Yeah, I'm not sure that a change was necessary. I understand what they're going for, though. I don't know if Mike going was the right option.
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't have that much to add on this because my bubble scene knowledge is limited. I'll put it that way.
No, I think it is for a lot of people, and so like it's hard for people to really have an opinion or thought much on these bubble team ones, because especially now, like, they're starting to really shake up as they start trying to form the teams that are going to be going into those RLRS play-ins. So Longshot looking for a 3rd. If you think you're qualified, you qualify for Scrimnabs, go ahead and check them out. Swank and Harps are looking for someone. Moving on to the next piece. This is a very interesting one. Like, to say the least, this is probably one of the most interesting roster bits. Turbo Pulsa, who you just heard was kicked off of, or not kicked off, but left Dignitas, is playing with Classics and Corrupt the G, who were just kicked out of Evil Geniuses for DreamHack Valencia. I don't know what to think of this one.
I think this is if anyone in the history of Rocket League, in terms of the professional scene, was going to make a move like this, it would be Turbo, right? So yeah, this is this is interesting to say the least. I just it'll be fun to watch them. Let me tell you what. Of all the teams I'm going to be looking for at DreamHack Valencia, I'm going to be watching every single one of their games. That's going to be amazing. Turbo with classics? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
that's god tier.
You think so?
Just because their personalities, yes, I want to watch them as they play. Like because they have the DreamHack so good on their production, they have like all the player cams. I just want to see how they interact with one another. Oh,
I think that's gonna be one of the funny teams to just watch, but also one of the most interesting.
On top of that, I do have to add it. Classics is doing a Twitter poll right now for the team name.
Oh god.
And it's not even close. The winner right now is Randy Gibbons for the team name. And
Gibbs getting back into RLCS and DreamHack. He's coming back to the pro scene, guys. Not in the way you expected, but he is. That's beautiful. Way to go, Rocket League community.
I'm just glad that they're having fun with it. I think, because for each one of them, you definitely feel bad considering their results from this season and whatever. So it's nice to see that they're at least attempting to have a sense of humor about it. I appreciate that. If anything else, it gives us something to talk about. Well, and it's really funny.
I appreciate that they have a sense of humor about it, but I think it also just shows a level of maturity that you're willing to say, this is how it goes. Teams are gonna change. It's the way of the scene. It's the way of esports, to be totally honest. And I think if you're gonna go in as a professional player, I think you need to understand that. And I think these guys have all been in it enough now that they know that that's the cycle. And they knew that eventually. I think at some level, all players know that one day this is going to happen to them. Whether it's setback and they get back in it, or it's just the final cut on them and they can't get back in. I think they all, to a certain extent, know it's coming.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's something that I follow the Counter-Strike scene also, as well as the Rocket League scene, and you see it there all the time too. It's just, players just constantly get moved around, and especially for a young esport like Rocket League, the volatility is just crazy.
Esports in general are just super cutthroat. It's crazy. Do y'all have anything else you want to add on that before I go into one final piece of information?
Nope.
Turbo going to be paying for their flights now that they're orgless?
He got that money being
I was going to say, he's got those RLCS winnings.
Forbes 30 under 30 right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Before we move on to our predictions, I just want to read this very short twit longer from Turbo Pulsa. Dignitas, DreamHack, and what's next? Quote, as you may know by now, I have left Dignitas. This was a hard decision to make, but a decision that is good for everyone involved. I'd like to thank Panda for all the years we played with each other, and Yukio with his annoying vein on his forehead. This means that I will be playing DreamHack Valencia with Classics and Corrupted G. Right now I have no plans, so teams, hit me up. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Mel, who's been with me since DreamHack. Yeah, nothing else there. But just funny, he takes it and he makes a good laugh about it, and then being the memester that he is, his Twitter banner says, looking for team, he, and his profile picture is just LFT and it's shitty paint type as well. So
again, about par for the course, I would say.
Yeah, when it comes from Turbo, that's about what you should expect. Do y'all have anything else you want to add before we move on? Anything about any of the roster stuff we discussed?
Nope.
Time to get into the real juicy content now. You thought that was good.
Man. It's time. We're going to go into some predictions, but that is going to do it for the roster shuffle. So we are going to start discussing our predictions for the LAN happening this weekend. You guys are more than welcome to kind of create your own predictions, throw them there in chat. We may interact with you. We may, just because this is a different type of episode. So Group A, who wants to go first on that prediction? It's going to be NRG, PSG, and INTS Esports for that group. Any
volunteers, or am I just gonna?
You can just
go right at it?
Yep.
I think this is a fairly easy one to predict. I'm going to go by the book on this one. I think NRG beats PSG. I think they beat INTS, and I think PSG also beats INTS. So I would have NRG finishing top, PSG in second, INTS in third. That would be my assumption, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the standard pick for Group A.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna agree with you on that. I think we just don't know enough about these SAM teams, but at the same time, you're going up against NRG. That's just not gonna happen. Like, I can't see anyone coming in right now who's new to the international stage and upsetting them. So I'm going NRG as well there. I think they're also gonna pull off a win against PSG. And then, yeah, I'm with you. I think PSG takes down INTS as well.
I sadly have to agree with you.
You sadly have to. You just don't like agreeing with me. That's all it is.
I mean, I don't, because you're usually wrong. But I don't think INTS should be here. I don't think INTS should have made it, which is what bothers me. I think Erodium should have made it, and if Erodium was in this group instead, I don't think PSG would make it out of it. But
really?
Yeah. But because it is INTS, I do think NRG makes it out as 1, and then PSG in 2.
Okay. So, pretty unanimously here. We have NRG coming out first in Group A, PSG in second, and INTS will not make it out of Group A. So, moving on to Group B, that is going to be Renault Vitality, Out of Order, and G2 Esports. This one's going to be a little tougher, I think, because I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think we're going to see some differing opinions here.
I'm tentatively leaning towards the mainstream pick, but then part of me is like, I don't know about that.
Well, I'll be brave.
You'll put on the brave face for us.
I'll go first. I have Renault Vitality beating Out of Order. I have G2 beating Renault Vitality and G2 beating Out of Order. So in my instance here, I would have G2 2-0, Renault Vitality 1-1, Out of Order not making it out of this group.
You think G2 is gonna beat Renault Vitality?
Yes. This is a hero call. I'm telling you now. This is the hot take coming out. But I think this is finally the season they get the monkey off their back. I know it's been said frequently, and I know it's been said many times, but I just think that with G2's style of play, I think if they go against Vitality, I think if G2 really gets their passing going, I think they can work the rotations well enough to get by Vitality's sort of, more individual, more highlight style of play.
Yeah.
I think on home soil, again, we're taking the LAN account. I mean, they're going to have a massive, and I do mean massive, fan presence there.
I think Renault Vitality is going to have a huge fan presence too, though. Despite the fact that it's here in North America, Renault Vitality are loved by a lot of people.
I don't think it'll be even comparable to G2, though.
I was going to say, the meme lord Rizzo has a ginormous fan base, and especially on home soil in NA. I think
but you're comparing
side.
Just Rizzo to 3 really huge names in KDOP, Scrubkilla, and Fairy Peak, who all have big followings in their own right.
Yeah, but people don't like Scrub, so
people love Scrub because of his toxicity.
But yeah,
and because he's just a god at ones.
I just think that in this group, I think they just get the monkey off their back. I think they do it this time. Again, I'm announcing it as the hot take, but I think they can do it. And I think with the home crowd behind them, it gives them a slight edge.
Okay. Eldino, do you want to go next?
I
want to hear your hot take.
I agree with Renault beating out Ground Zero or Out of Order.
Yeah.
I'm really between on this Renault G2 game.
That's the one that I'm
Is-
between on.
I think on paper Renault should win. However, if they start out slow, or if G2 can break out their curse of not playing horrible day one, then I think G2 could take it. But I am gonna go with Renault. And
So
then
you think Renault is going to be G2 and take first in that group?
yes, and then I think G2 is gonna beat Out of Order to
Yeah.
take second.
I agree with. I think I'm just more inclined to pick G2 over. We're saying Out of Order, but I forgot they were rebranded, so they're Ground Zero Gaming.
Yeah.
I have the deal pulled up and I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, we're saying that all wrong. But I don't know. It's really hard for me to want to pick Ground Zero over G2. But like OCE has been starting to do better. And so but G2 also, like, I think it's just the equivalent of OCE is doing better, and then G2 just have a tendency to just suck at LAN. And so the only reason that I'm hesitant on it is because I could see G2 just being crap and Ground Zero rising to the occasion possibly. But my instincts are telling me just to go with the same deal as Eldino, so I'm going to pick Renault Vitality takes first place in the Group B, G2 takes second, and Ground Zero will be eliminated from that group.
Hey Ryan, what? Are you on the right scene?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah. It's not showing on my end.
Oh,
Sorry.
I have it showing the Liquipedia page.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be Renault Vitality and G2. All of us agree with that in different ways, but we all agree that RV and G2 will get through. So moving on to Group C, this one, oh man, I don't like this one.
Oh, I love this one.
I hate this one.
I don't want to go first.
This group consists of Renegades from OCE, FC Barcelona from EU, and Rogue from NA. Who wants to take the bull by the horns on this one? You or me, Eldino? He already went first.
I'll go.
All right, you're fine
I
giving
think-
your hot takes.
I think Barcelona barely beats out Renegades, probably game 5.
Ooh.
I think Renegades destroy Rogue. I don't think it's even going to be close. Rogue is hands down the worst team at LAN. And then I think Barcelona is going to also destroy Rogue. So,
There we go.
Man.
yeah.
See, Ryan, I know you're a Kenobi fanboy. Go ahead, tell him he's wrong. Tell him he's wrong. Do it.
You know,
listening.
I'm gonna do it. I think FCB beat both Renegades and Rogue and take first in that group, and then I think that here's what I'm hoping for, and this is why I'm making the pick this way, is I hope that Rogue actually show up like they did in the regional tournament. And they just play really well. I mean, the fact that they took down both Ghost and Space Station there in the regional tournament was not expected. Everyone was just assuming it's going to be Big 3 and Space Station. And so the fact that Rogue just did so well during regionals, I'm hoping that they bring that type of momentum with them. They play in that style, and they just kind of kick butt, take names. So I've got Rogue beating Renegades. I don't think they're going to beat Barcelona. If they do, I'll be like, my mind will be blown, but I'm gonna have to pick it. Rogue beating out Renegades. I love Kronovi, and I'm gonna stand by my fandom here, even if it might be wrong.
I just think that I have to mirror my good friend Eldino on this one. Because...
Y'all aren't good friends. Y'all are acquaintances. Shut up.
Hey, we teamed together back in the day. That makes us
did.
really good friends. as we have clearly seen throughout the scene.
No, you're just exes.
Yeah, that team dynamics are always good and always positive, and nobody ever gets mad at each other on teams for anything. So
the Rocket League scene is so mature, you know.
Mm-hmm. And especially within teams of just 3 people. However, to actually get to my point here, so I do think, again, the obvious one, I think Barcelona will beat Rogue. I'm gonna start there.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow it up by saying I think Barcelona also beats Renegades. That one is I think it's a toss up, really. I just think talent wise, Barcelona is just better.
I think I'm
Um,
with you. I think Barcelona has a lot more talent to it.
and I think they'll just do well. However, I'm also gonna say that Renegades will beat Rogue. I don't think it will be the demolition derby that someone else on this show has predicted. However, I do think that Rogue will go 0-2 and they will not make the cut. So yeah, a tough one for Kronovi, but I have him watching his former team go 2-0 and him go 0-2. So yikes.
All right. I feel you, man.
I think Crow should just be happy that he got there.
No, I like, to be honest, like, I think I'm kind of in the same boat of, like, I think, like, the fact they made it is a huge accomplishment in and of itself, because they kind of had the deck stacked against them, so I'm pretty happy about them for that. But we all are in agreement that it's going to be FCB who moves on, and then we're 2-1 on Renegades beating out Rogue and making it through. So Group C is the first one where we actually don't pick the same two temes.
That's your fault, Ryan.
No, it's not. It's my heart, you know?
Yeah.
Moving on to Group D, though, we have Low Key Esports. That is the #1 seed from SAM. We have Cloud9 from NA and Triple Trouble from EU. I'll go first on this one. I think it's going to be Cloud9 takes it against both Loki and Triple Trouble, and then I think Triple Trouble beats out Loki. So it's going to be Cloud9 Triple Trouble for me.
I'm going to let Perino go because I have some bold picks for this.
Oh, how bold! Because I was gonna make one myself. But so I do think that Cloud9 will beat Loki. I just don't see them dropping that series realistically, for many of the same reasons that I had G2. However, I think Triple Trouble actually takes the series against Cloud9, and so Triple Trouble, I have them also beating Low-Key. But I think, Ryan, we're picking the same teams, but I just think we're picking them in different spots here. I have Triple Trouble going 2-0, Cloud9 1-1, Low-Key 0-2.
Really?
Yeah, I just think Cloud9 has had some consistency issues this season. You can say that about a lot of teams, but
yeah, but the main problem of why I couldn't look at it that way here is because Cloud9 have a tendency to show up at LANs. Like, for some reason, they just really show up when they're in the physical environment. They just kick butt from there on out. And so that's the main reason. Like, I could see Cloud9 possibly taking the whole thing again, because they just do so well at every single LAN they go to. They suck online at times, but when it comes to the LAN, like, they'll kick butt, take names.
I just think there's always going to be some variance. And I just think that Triple Trouble is in a unique spot where I think Cloud9 is actually going to have a lot of pressure on them early on to do well. I think most people will
returning world champions, like, everyone's expecting
home
something.
soil, same thing. So I think you might see some shaky play from them initially out of the gate. My question is this: for our lineups that we have them here, do those go in order of the way that they're played? So, like, will Cloud9 play Low-Key first, or is it just because I think it'll be interesting to see.
So you have the first matches there. It's gonna be NRG and INTS, RV and GZG, RNG, FCB, Low-Key, and C9. Then whoever wins from that goes on to play the next match that happens either that day or the next day. Part of the reason they did this is because they didn't want there to be a possibility for a team to be eliminated day one.
On day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's a mentality thing too, right? And again, we talk about this a lot, but how, if you don't get a good result on day one, then it's possible that that negative sort of that negative, like, mind block, I guess, can carry through. So I think it'll be interesting with all of these to see, depending on the order of the games and the matchups you get first, I think can really sway who gets out of what groups.
Yeah.
Overall.
Well, I mean, like, I think you'll lose that game, and then you have to go into another one, and you play day one, and you just come off a loss. I just think, like, if you lose your first game at all, that's just gonna be a huge roadblock to overcome. Because like you're basically done at that point if you don't win.
Yeah. So I think it'll depend, but I want to hear Eldino's hot take for this group.
I feel like he's gonna have something interesting.
Is yours.
I think Cloud9 beats Loki.
Okay.
I think Loki beats Triple Trouble.
Oh.
And I think Triple Trouble beats Cloud9.
Okay.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you predict that, but do you have to then go deeper into your prediction?
Yeah, I know.
So who do you think is gonna do well enough to actually get out?
I think Triple Trouble barely beats Cloud9, and I think Cloud9 considerably beats Loki. So I think Cloud9's gonna have the game differential.
Okay.
To take the 1 seed, and I think Triple Trouble will barely have it over Loki. So
yeah, it's because I'm with you. Cloud9, I think they'll pretty considerably take down Loki, and then I think it'll be a close one between Triple Trouble and Cloud9 if Triple Trouble take it. So it's just gonna come out however the Loki and Triple Trouble game turns out finally. But if you're predicting Loki takes down Triple Trouble, I mean. That's interesting prediction, man. so you have Cloud9 and Triple Trouble being the two who make it out, though.
yes.
Okay.
It's also interesting, I think, out of all our predictions, that's the only one that has a group going 1-1 for all 3 teams.
I mean, I think it's possible for groups B and C too to have something like that, but it would just be kind of surprising if it happened, because whoever ends up coming off that win from day one, I think is going to just come into the next one guns blazing and just destroy the next team.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thought with this format, because again, it's something I hadn't really considered up until I was making the picks here, was that it's going to be such an advantage to win your first series, and if you get the best matchup you can on day one,
yeah,
it's a huge, because it takes all the pressure off for day 2. If you come out and you smoke a team, if you sweep them, let's say, in your first series, you're basically golden.
Yeah.
I mean, even mathematically, it'd be almost impossible for you on the game differential to not make it through, right? So if you come out and you sweep someone, it's you're basically money in the bank.
Yeah.
It's a huge game changer in this format, in my opinion.
All right. So, okay, let's take 1 second. Do you guys have your makeshift brackets put together so we can make final bracket predictions there at the end? Because since we all predicted different things, that's gonna be different.
Yeah. Well, I think the best way to do this, you're the host of the show. You get to make the call, of course. I am simply a guest. However, I think the best way to have each person just really quickly go through it, and then come back and revisit.
Okay.
Each person's, because again, with the different brackets, it'll be useful, I think, to see everyone's predictions. So,
and Eldino, is that my prediction right there that you have?
Whatever it says at the bottom. There's 3 different sheets.
Oh, yeah, it's my prediction. Okay. So I am going to. So for those of you who are watching at home, this is our. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit so it's better. So this is going to be game 1. This is the final bracket. So these are the final 8 teams that make it out of groups according to my picks. I'm going to pick NRG to beat out G2. NRG's been on fire this season, and I just really don't. Even if G2 get out of groups, I don't think they're gonna. Even if they pulled a 2-0 somehow, I think NRG is just too hot of a team right now to really fall down from that. And then going into the next one, I love my guys, but I'm gonna have to pick Cloud9 over. Why is my stuff messed up? There we go. I'm gonna have to pick Cloud9 over Rogue. Cloud9 again, like I was saying before, they just show up at LANs in a big way, and I'd be shocked if they don't do it again here. And then Renault Vitality and PSG. Again, RV, they've been killing it. I'm gonna go with them over PSG. Vitality #1 there in EU. They beat PSG. I can't remember what the final deal was for that, but they beat out PSG before. I think they can do it again. PSG, like, they made it to LAN, but they haven't been super surprising to me, or like they haven't been like, I don't know, I can't really put it into words, but they haven't been impressive to me personally. Barcelona and Triple Trouble. Ugh, that's a tougher one. I would probably call Triple Trouble on that. And then going into this final bit here is where it gets a little harder. NRG and Cloud9. That's a really tough call to make. Freak. You know, I think this is the season. This one's just a gut. I'm going for it. I think this is their season, man. I think they're going to do it. So, NRG are going to go up against... Oh, man. Triple Troll and RV. I'm going to go Vitality. I think it's a cop-out. I know, top 2 from each group, but I just think that I think both teams are doing well enough that it's possible. Triple Trouble, I think that Triple Trouble or Barcelona are the two that could pull the upset right there on RV, though. So, that's it's a very tentative pick on Vitality there. But I'm going to ultimately call NRG to be the winners for this LAN.
Very nicely done.
So who wants to go next?
Do you know where you're going to volunteer? You're going to make me do it. You're going to make me do it?
I can do it.
We'll go Eldino next.
I was going to say, we're going to go Dino because it goes in order then.
Yeah, it just goes in order of the tabs. So
there you go.
Go ahead and fill your stuff in as you go, man.
I got NRG over G2. Oh, I gotta move that down. I think Cloud9 sadly beat out Renegades.
Sadly?
Well, I hate Cloud9. I hate them as a team. I don't like them.
I forget that you have a hatred against them.
I don't.
That's why you and Hobbit get along so well.
I don't. But the problem is that Torment and Gimmick are LAN players, and
for sure.
This Renegades roster every season gets destroyed at LAN by Cloud9. Not destroyed, but like
Cloud9 is their kryptonite, though.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that it's true, but it is. I think PSG beat out Renault.
Okay. Why do you think that?
They've been so close so many times this season.
And you think this is just finally the one where they take it?
What?
You think this is finally just the one where they take it?
I hope. I hope. I think Barcelona beat out Triple Trouble. I don't think that's going to be that close to a series. I think NRG beat out Cloud9. I think Barca beat out NRG. I mean, not NRG, PSG.
Close
and
enough.
Then I think that Barcelona beat out NRG, sadly.
Oh, you think Barcelona come in and take the whole thing?
I do.
Why do you feel that way?
I think they're just going to be on a hot streak.
You think that they're just going to get hot through it and just go?
Yeah, I think NRG is going to struggle. However, they are going to have home crowd by miles since Justin and Fire both live within driving distance.
Yeah.
Not sure that's really going to affect anything at that point if it does happen that late, but...
Okay. So, Eldino picking Barcelona as the ultimate winner. You ready, Perino?
No. I've had the most time to think about it, so I've been doubting all my picks now.
Final prediction for you, my man.
Yeah, so the problem is that with the way that I have my group set up, I have some really, really difficult matchups right in the first round, top of the bottom here.
Yeah,
so,
you have really tough matches to call.
Yeah, so the way that I have this set up really means that there's going to be teams that don't make it very far that probably could have, and teams that will make it far that maybe should not have. So with that in mind, The first one here, NRG versus Renault Vitality. We did just see this one. I think that NRG, I'm going with the fanboy pick,
Yeah.
is going to make it past Renault Vitality. I think if Justin is at his full, full physical health, then that will be
If he doesn't
a challenging
jump off
series, but a good
stage to
one.
go throw up again.
Yes. Triple Trouble in Renegades. I'm going to go with the boys. Yeah,
Hey.
the boys.
Oh,
Aussie,
man.
Aussie. I'm taking them there. G2 PSG is a very classic matchup. You have two very storied teams in this competition, looking, to see who can get the better of each other here. However, in this one, I'm actually going to take PSG in a reverse sweep over G2.
Gotta keep with the theme, my man.
I think G2 will actually have an opposite sort of thing. I think they're going to come out really strong, but they're just not going to be able to do that much once they get into the playoff stage. So,
yeah,
I have PSG there. Again, a really tough one with Barcelona and Cloud9. I will, however, take Cloud9 in the spot. I do think Cloud9 on LAN is.
You can just hear the disgust in Eldino's voice.
I'm going to ignore it for the moment, but yes, I did hear it. I did hear it. So then we go back to the top of this bracket here. I have NRG and Renegades. I am going to take the boys. I'm going to have the Renegades.
Oh, wow.
To be honest, though,
NRG.
Renegades have been NRG's like kryptonite at every single RLCS.
And I think
they've been the kryptonite
here.
You think it's going to continue?
And not to mention, I think that the Renegades have also improved by round after round every RLCS, in terms of their, former iteration of the Chiefs as well. So I think that continues here as well, and they will actually make it to the grand final.
Holy crap, man. That's a bold prediction right there, I can say. NRG feels like a very different team from the last time these two met.
Well,
you do you, man. You do
this weekend. We shall see this weekend. And then with PSG Cloud9, I am going to give it to my boys on C9. And so our final matchup will be Renegades and Cloud9. And ladies and gentlemen, between the two, I have to go with the fanboy pick. I do think Cloud9
good.
is going to repeat, and they will end up your champions.
Eldino is about to rip you a new one if you pick the Renegades.
I would have.
He was gonna tear you apart, man.
Okay. All right, listen. I know we don't have a ton of time here, but hear me out. I actually think the Renegades are capable of doing it.
I think they are
really
too.
Do.
No,
I think they have the talent, and I think they have the ability to beat anyone at this LAN. Why do you think otherwise?
I think they have the capability to make it to that matchup with NRG. I don't think they make it beyond that, though.
Energy is looking way too dominant for me to think that they actually have a shot against them.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm an NRG fanboy. I didn't want to be accused of, being a homer in a sense and just going with the team that I root for. So, there is that element. But I think there's, again, and we say it all the time, especially on LAN, there's so many variables that go into it.
Stuff.
You can't just, if we were going to do our predictions by the book, just pick by the best teams and la-di-da, there you have it. But that's just not the way Rocket League is. And we haven't seen that in any RLCS, I don't think. Have we ever had, a finals matchup where we're like, oh yeah, both of these teams were definitely both predicted to be here? Maybe Dignitas and
you could
C9
say
year that
Dignitas was predicted to be there, but really, like with the double elim bracket setup, you can predict who you think's going to be there for the top part of the bracket. It's so hard to predict with the lower bracket run, though. Just because once you pick up momentum and steam there on the lower bracket, like you just freaking fly through people.
Bringing this back, do you think Renegades are a better team than Chief were last season without Drippe? because they lost their best player, in my opinion. So I don't.
I'm with Eldino on that. I think Drippe was their best player.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a tough one because yes, I do agree Drippe was by far their best player, but I just think that this iteration of their team, they just have the upset potential. It's hard to explain. It's not like I can really predict and be like, oh well, they're definitely going to do this against every other team. But I don't know. I just think that they have an experienced roster, and they've been sticking around. They've been boot camping here, the past couple weeks. I think they're capable of making the run. I was looking at the matchup, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm feeling the boys. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
All right, man. We'll have to see how that happens. But there you have it. Those are our predictions. Perino picking Cloud9 to be his ultimate winners. Eldino picking Barcelona to be his ultimate winners. And I am choosing NRG to be my winners for this LAN. I do have to say, though, I think among all the final brackets, I do like yours the most, Perino. At least like the 8 teams that make it out of groups. I like that setup the most, I think.
I really like his quarters. I just don't like his semis and finals.
Yeah, his quarters I think are really entertaining. I think that would be a lot of fun to watch that and see how that pans out, because yours and mine, they're basically the same, except Renegades and Cloud9 just meet there in the quarters for you. But I like your quarters a lot, Perino.
Yeah, I just think, again, if it shakes out that way, that you have a bunch of matchups in the beginning where you have 4 legit favorites, I would say, NRG, Vitality, Barcelona, and C9.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of them are going to get cut right from the start. So
yeah,
it's just, it's tough to say.
It's like, it's a really cutthroat quarterfinals, which I think is part of why I like it so much.
Well, because Renegades kind of gets the easier path, right? Sure, they run into NRG, but, so they play Triple Trouble, who's the number 4 seed from EU. I mean, you could get a lot worse of a draw than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you could have been Ints and gone up against PSG and NRG right off the bat.
Or Loki getting Triple Trouble in C9. Or,
yeah.
It's just, some of these are rough, to say the least.
Yeah. I think groups are going to be trouble for these guys. I think Renegades are probably the only non-NAEU team that I could see making it out of groups, though.
I could see Loki doing it barely by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
I feel like
what is their freaking name? I keep blanking. Ground Zero Gaming and Loki I think there's a chance for them to make it out, but I think it's very slim. I think it's very slim that they make it out, but Renegades are the one that I definitely see the most ability to make it out.
Yeah, again, I think a lot of it is just about which team catches fire at the right time, and so that's the difficult part to predict.
Yeah. But I'm interested too, though, to see if like teams really like catch fire in the same way that we've seen with previous, because this is such a new format. I wonder if like that element is still going to be able to stick around when you don't have to play back to back lower bracket games. I mean, like Cloud9, they were like exhausted by the time they got to Grands last season, but they were just tearing through the brackets so fast that it's just gonna be interesting. So if you guys are interested, though, be sure to be watching the RLCS Championship happening this weekend there in New Jersey. If you're gonna be there, go say hi to Perino. He'll be around. Remember, if you recognize him, you're gonna boost his ego tremendously.
Yes.
And more boosted ego for him means more entertaining content for us. Because then him and Eldino will just butt heads more, and it'll be great.
Yep.
I wanted you so bad to pick Renegades as the winners, because I just wanted to hear Eldino just lay into you.
I can feel him, I can feel the veins popping from all the way from the monitor over here. I could just feel it.
He doesn't even have a cam, and we could feel that.
It's a good thing you didn't.
I can only imagine what your face looked like there. You're probably just like, oh, this dude's really about to pick them.
No, I do think Cloud9 actually has a good chance of repeating here, though.
I think
really
they do too.
I think they actually have a really good shot at it.
Yeah. But guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Around the Scene. This was episode 11. I hope you guys enjoyed the predictions episode. If you guys like that, please let us know, because we may do this for whenever future LANs occur. Not for the RLCS only, maybe for like DreamHack or something as well. We may take those a little more seriously and actually try to do predictions for them. But we just thought we'd try it here since this is the first LAN since we started the show. So please give us feedback. You can give it here on Discord, YouTube, anywhere you want to go, where we're at. Just go give it to us. We'll be happy to hear you out on it. But that's going to do it. This is episode 11. Be sure to give us a follow and all that jazz. We'll be posting this on YouTube maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. Depends on if I can actually get myself to do all this tonight. We'll
Depends
see.
on how many beers you have.
I'm pretty tired. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tonight. But I'm Ryan. That's Perino and Eldino. And we will see you guys next time. We are not going to be doing a Launchpad tournament this Monday. And there's a possibility that we will not be doing an Around the Scene episode next week. Just we're playing with Rockets. We're going to kind of take a break. I'll be out on vacation and stuff, and everybody else, we're just going to kind of relax a little bit, enjoy a little bit of our summer. But we will be back to you guys soon. So thank you very much for watching, and it was our pleasure to have you with us. We'll see you next time. Take care.